Hey, and welcome to Dr. G Speaks. I am Dr. Kristen Guillory, and I am so very excited to help you experience a life of freedom, faith, and fun you may not even realize is possible. Listen, I know you feel held back, I know you feel stuck, and I know you are hiding. As a coach and the author of Look, Stop Hiding, How to Find Your Voice and Never Dim Your Light Again, you will get to listen to some amazing stories, receive some homework, that's the professor in me, and get some tools to help you live the life you deserve. It's time to quiet the noise and walk in the fullness of who God created you to be. It's time to stop hiding and start thriving. Together, we'll uncover your potential and ignite your journey to a fulfilling life, a life of freedom. So I woke up, looked at my clock. It said 8:15. I sat up in a panic because I had an 8 a.m. meeting. And yes, y'all, it was a clock because this story is from about 2008 or 9. I called Paula immediately because we were supposed to meet at 8 o'clock. I called her. Paula, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I just woke up. I'm headed there. I could be there in 15 minutes. I'm so sorry. And Paula said, that means you needed the rest. I'm sitting here with my coffee, with my newspaper. If you can be here in the next 45 minutes or so, we can still meet. It's fine. Okay, thank you. And I hung up, and I had never had anyone respond to me like that. Now, it's not like people where I can't believe you're late. I can't believe you overslept. But I'd never had a moment like that in the exact moment of panic of, oh my gosh, I was supposed to meet at 8. It's 8:15. I can't believe it. And just her, that means your body needed the rest. That was one of my first glances into peace in a way that I don't know if I had seen or received prior to. It's not that I hadn't seen peace before, but it was something about that moment, probably the juxtaposition of my extreme panic and her calmness. And that stayed with me. That changed things for me. Almost 20 years ago, I can remember that moment. We met at Panera Bread. I got there at probably 8:35, and we wound up meeting, I think, for 1 or 2 hours. That was at a time in my life when rest was not anywhere on any agenda. That was at a time in my life where I was just trying to meet and meet and meet and learn from people. I said yes to every meeting. I said yes to every opportunity. And since then, I have used that phrase with people. That means your body needed the rest. That means your body needed the rest. I remember hosting one of my women's events, Cozy Convos, and someone who was on the team, we were all supposed to meet at 4, and this person arrived at about 4:45, and they were in a panic. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I took a nap, I overslept, and I said, that means your body needed the rest. Because in truth, y'all, we don't oversleep on purpose, right? Like we don't oversleep to be malicious and to be harmful. It just means that we needed a little bit more sleep. Now, for me, I have no idea why I agreed to an 8 a.m. meeting. The heezy, I have no idea why I agreed to an 8 a.m. meeting. But actually, I do know why, because I never said no. I did not take me into account in scheduling meetings. I didn't take me into account that I don't like mornings. I do not thrive at 8 a.m. But because this was a woman that I respected and regarded, and that's the time that she requested. Now, listen, I know if I would have said, can we do 9:30? She would have said yes. But I'm the one that said 8:30. There was a time that I had my calendar totally open every day, like 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. if anybody wanted to schedule a coaching call with me. Because I think I had a fear of, ooh, I want to make sure that people can get in. And I was afraid that If I block this time, someone's not going to be able to schedule and I'm going to miss out on an opportunity. That was scarcity mindset. That was lack mindset. And I began to change that. My schedule was that open in probably 2019, 2020. And then I began to change it in 2021, 2022, where I was only available maybe 3 to 4 days a week. My availability would be 11:30 to about 3:30. Then I would take a 2 hour break and then it would come back maybe 6:30 to 8. Now today, I don't even have a scheduler link that I use. Here's why for me. I think it's wisdom in using them. For me, at this time in my life, I don't because I don't know how I might feel or what I'm going to be doing in a month. So if it is January 5th and you're on my link and you schedule it for the end of the month, I may not want to have a meeting at that time that's available. So what I do now is when people message me to meet, I send them my availability. I send them 3 different days and times that work because I know what it was like to see one person schedule something on one day and I have to arrange my whole day around that one meeting. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm not saying it's a good thing, but I am leaning into the rhythm that works better for me today. There were times that I said yes to every opportunity, every speaking engagement because of scarcity. Have there been times where you apologized for being tired? I remember years ago, I was riding with my brother and I said something like, "Man, I don't know why I'm sleepy." And he said something like, "Well, that means you need to go to sleep." Something so simple, like almost judging myself. Why am I sleepy? Why am I tired? I shouldn't be tired. Well, I was. So go lay down. I've worked with clients who would try to be on calls and they'll say, "I'm tired." And I'll say, "Go lay down." "Well, I don't want to miss anything." I hear you. It'll be a replay. I get it. I totally get it. But our bodies communicate with us. So that means you needed the rest. That means you need to go sit down. There have been times that I wanted to go to the gym and I just was tired and couldn't do it. And in truth, y'all, I got mad at myself. Like for real, I figuratively beat myself up because I didn't go to the gym. Looking back at that, I wish I could go back to that Kristen and say, "Girl, go lay down. The gym will be there. And God is more powerful than the gym. God knows you're not being neglectful of your health. So whatever was going to happen at the gym today in your own strength, he can do that times 100." And that was even a lesson for me in realizing that I don't have to do it all on my own, all in my own strength. Actually, God's strength is so much better than mine. But I had to realize that and lean into his strength because if I make the formula, if the formula is I have to work out 5 days a week and do this kind of thing and this kind of thing, and that is the only formula, and I've forgotten to include the Lord in it, then I'm doing it totally and completely in my own strength. When I had my first and only surgery 10 years ago, I had to be down for the count. I could not work out for 6 weeks. I couldn't wear high heels for 6 weeks. I couldn't do a lot for 6 weeks. I really just had to lay down for 6 weeks. Prior to that, I was going to my ratchet Zumba. I was doing my thing. I loved it. And in truth, I was worried. Oh my gosh, I'm not going to work out for 6 weeks. Does that mean I'm going to, gain this weight? Does that mean I'm going to, oh my, I was worried the first couple of weeks. And then I just settled into the healing. I settled into the rest. I settled into what my body needed. And when I went back to my checkup, my weight was exactly the same, if not 1 pound lighter. And that was fascinating to me because I thought I've literally been sitting down for 6 weeks. Eating has been okay, not necessarily just salads and things. And that moment showed me something that God is more powerful than my effort. My effort is needed when he leads me to do so, but God can do what I could never do. God can do things without my effort. So it's almost like God was saying, so do you think that I was going to have you sit down for 6 weeks and not move and cause your body to gain 15, 20 pounds when the situation that you're in was not anything you caused. When the situation you're in was an emergency surgery where you had to rest. Now, am I saying that those who had to be bedridden or those who had to sit down for weeks and gain weight, that weight gain is your fault? Absolutely not. That is not what I'm saying by any means, because God knows our playbook. He knows what we need for that. And he knew that I kept holding everything in my hands, thinking that I was in control, and showed me that I really am in control. Just trust me. So the same thing with meetings, the same thing with scheduling, folks. Don't lean into scarcity. If you know you are not an 8 a.m. person, ask for 9:30 or 10. If you know you're not an 8 p.m. person, trust that another time will be there. Trust and listen to your body. Trust that God can do what you cannot do. I'm probably going to reach out to Paula and slide her a message because I know she doesn't remember that moment. I'm quite sure she does not remember that moment almost 20 years ago that made such an impact on me, because she said that means your body needed the rest. Where does your body need the rest? And what is the first step that you need to take? Your affirmation for today: I listen and respond immediately to what my body needs and knows God is fulfilling everything. I listen and respond to what my body needs and know that God is fulfilling everything. Thank you so much for listening to the Dr. G Speaks podcast. And if you enjoyed this episode, please share it with your friends and family. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time. Deuces.